That looks like that small raccoon. Hey, raccoon. That raccoon's ready to run. About 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm afraid if I walk closer he'll run off. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Hey, raccoon. I hadn't seen the raccoons in 3 or 4 days. That hurricane coming. I think they was getting prepared for the hurricane. Oh, that wind, look at him. He's scared, ain't he? That wind scared him. I'll walk a little bit closer while he's not up here. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Stay right there. Stay right there. Yeah, that tornado's out in the ocean right out from us. It just went right by us. Where I live at, we have a hurricane every 150 years. Most places have every 100 years, but we have about 150 years, our high floods. Now where I live at, yesterday I rode around a little bit, looked, and the water was up to the level with the highway, and ready to come across the highway, and it had the bridge closed. The big bridge was closed because they closed the bridge at 45-mile-an-hour winds, and the bridge is a quarter mile off the water. So it's a tall bridge. But when I ride around looking, what I look for is ride the streets. You look in the sewer drain, where the water drains. On the side of the highway, they got the drainage. But I look at those, and what happens is when the water comes up real high, it'll come out those pipes. It'll come out and flood the streets. They ought to have some kind of a back pipe, some kind of a swing that one way the water can go this way, but the water can't come back in. They have them around here in some places. Hey, raccoon. Hey, raccoon. I put pecans in every day, raccoon. Why they got pecans? Raccoon, did you see I had a tree broke? I got 2 trees that's broke right there, raccoon. I didn't think the raccoons would come by today. Hadn't seen them in 4 or 5 days. I've been putting food out, and a lot of cats has been coming by, so I have to run the cats off and watch the food, because the cats eat all the food up. And there's 3 or 4 cats around here, wild ones that hang around. The neighbors has a bunch of cats down there too. She just feeds them and she don't care. But I think my neighbor feeds the raccoons down there too, because I went down there and seen the raccoons in her backyard before. And I caught the raccoons. They'd stand up and look at me and everything, but they stay there and eat what she had. And that raccoon eating them marshmallows right now. Them marshmallows, only 1 marshmallow left in there. 1 or 2 I can see right here. You got 1 marshmallow left in there. 1 marshmallow. You better get it right now. There it is right there. I wonder what the raccoons was. Man, I'll tell you what, the wind has been blowing these trees sideways. I rode down to the cemetery yesterday to check the cemetery out. And they had a great big tree. I'm talking about one of the biggest trees out there that fell over. The tree was hollow on the inside. You could climb inside the tree. It was so big around. But nothing inside the middle of it. That tree was old. That raccoon right there eating them pecans up right now. He's eating them pecans for somebody else eats them up. That's a brand new fresh bowl, raccoon. I poured everything in that bowl in the dump. I poured it in the dump, raccoon. I put it in the dump. I put that food in the dump. I poured all the food that was in that bowl out and washed the bowl out, put fresh new food in there. Everything's fresh. Bright spots at the door wanting to come out. I let Black Spot out. He's gonna run the raccoon off. I can hear a Black Spot over there knocking on the door. Black Spot, wait a minute. Wait a minute, boy. If I open the door up, you're gonna come outside and that raccoon's gonna run off, and he's hungry. You can see how he's eating. Raccoon don't look like he's eating 2 or 3 days. But sometimes I put the food out and the cats will come up here, and then sometimes I put it up and raccoons will come up, and I'll sit there and watch them for 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'll watch them eat, you know, so they get something in their belly to fill them up some before I disturb them. And then I'll come outside, and a lot of times whenever I open the door up, they just run off, and since they already got, you know, some food in the belly, they don't worry about hanging around long. And sometimes, you know, they come right back. A lot of times I see the raccoon out here, and I'll just come out here and stand out here, and I'll call the raccoon, and call him 3 or 4 times, you know, and then if I got my bag with the pecans in my pocket, I'll take the bag out and rattle the bag, crumple the bag, scrumple it and rattle it. And then I'll stand here and be quiet, and they'll come back out about half the time. That raccoon's hungry there. Can I walk a little closer? I'm gonna come a little bit closer, see if I can get closer right here to you. How close can I get right here to you, huh? How close? I'm just right here. I'm gonna stop right here. Go ahead. I never did put a different shirt on. Phew. That breeze is cold. Get some water. Come here. That's a small raccoon. He's just right there. Here he comes back. Come on, get some water over there. There's more pecans in there before he leaves. He thought about that, raccoon. He thought about that. That raccoon. He does think sometimes. He thinks for his own. Nobody tells that raccoon what to think, none. Nobody never tells that raccoon what to think, none. That raccoon, he didn't ever think none. That raccoon right there. Yeah, that hurricane come by here in Florida yesterday, and last night it come by here and all, and always getting the winds, and the winds has been up to about 40-mile-an-hour winds. Been blowing pretty strong. Driving down the highway yesterday, and the wind about blew my car off the highway there. I was just riding real slow, looking at the water, how high the water was. You could, the ocean and you got the ocean, then you have the marsh where I live at. I live on the land, and you got marsh grass, and then you can see the ocean out there, and it all looked like one big ocean yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna let Black Spot out. I'm gonna let Black Spot out. Oh wait. You coming? Come on. Spot. He didn't want to come out. Spot wants me to go inside. He wants me to give him something to eat. Go ahead, stay right there and eat. Go home. Get right there and eat. I would just, come here. Come here. Come on. Get back up in there. Come on. Come on. I tell you what I'll do. I'll go inside and leave you alone for a minute while I give Black Spot some food. Alright, I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to go inside and give Black Spot something. That's what he wants. Stop this video. Stop.